Yo, what's good, everybody? We got another Beers with Barton, and it is Monday, September 18th, 2023. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I just got back from quite the adventure with my big bro, and let me tell you all about it, and I'll try to keep it brief, but it was epic. It was amazing. It was amazingly epic. So I flew out on Wednesday about 11 o'clock. Eastern time, flying to Chicago, which you gain an hour. So flew. My brother and I both landed around noon. Met up at the airport, grabbed some lunch, and then Ubered in to our hotel, which was about a mile and a half from the Riverwalk and the pier, and a mile and a half from like Soldier Field, right kind of in downtown Chicago. So chilled Wednesday. Ended up doing a lot of the touristy stuff. We walked up the Big Bean. It was under construction. We couldn't get close. Got some pictures. The big fountain that's in the beginning opening credits of Married with Children. Love and Marriage. Got to see that. And just walked around and really just enjoyed the evening. Seeing a lot of sights and sounds. Walked around the river a little bit. Had a couple drinks here and there. And then we headed back to the hotel. And it was about a mile and a half walk. Headed back to the hotel. Chilled for a bit. There's an Irish pub that was in our hotel, so that was cool. We definitely frequented that. And then we walked about less than half of a mile to dinner on Wednesday night to this fantastic Chicago steakhouse. Can't remember the name, but had steak, mashed potatoes, had it was delicious. Met some good friends, some new people. One of them had visited. Had a friend that lives in Napa Valley, California. So anyways, good night. Went back to the hotel, chilled. Got up Thursday, got some great coffee, and then we Ubered down to Wrigley Field. It's about 7 miles away. Kind of checked out Wrigleyville. Not much was open. Found a spot that opened at 11. Grabbed a beer. Then Wrigleyville, we had a tour at noon. So I got to tour Wrigley Field, one of the most iconic fields, if not the most iconic field in all of baseball. All the history we heard, which it has a lot of. It was phenomenal. Our tour guide was good. It lasted an hour and a half. We walked through all the stadium, sat in the stands, went to the bleachers, walked to the press box, stood in Harry Carey's press box where he said, "And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, take me out to the ball game." Walked to the visitors' locker room, heard the history about that, and then went and got to sit out in the dugout. It was phenomenal. And then after that, we went and grabbed some food. Unfortunately, we picked a spot that we actually grabbed beers out at earlier. Really cool atmosphere. The food was extremely disappointing. The only bad experience, and wasn't even bad, just very bland. I got a chicken barbecue pizza. Shannon got an avocado burger, and it was not very flavorful, which was crazy. It looked good. It just had no taste. Then we ended up heading back on Thursday. Back to the hotel after a couple hours, chilled there, and then we ended up walking back to, we ended up walking up to Soldier Field, walked around that, couldn't get in, but got some cool pictures, found this hole-in-the-wall bar, which wasn't even like a bar, it was just like a beach, like tent with like a bar at it, but it was cool, you could tell it was used for game days. And then we ended up Ubering all the way back down to the river area, walked around the Riverwalk. It was popping. There was music. There was a DePaul University was doing a presentation there. Chilled at this place called O'Brien's on the river. We did not end up doing the architecture boat tour. Wish we would have, but it just didn't work out. I think we were kind of toast at that point. But walked around, found this cool cigar bar, had a nice cigar, watched a little Thursday night football, Ubered back to the hotel, hit our local watering hole for the 2 nights. Kitty O'Shea, Irish pub, grabbed some fish and chips, watched some Thursday night football, and then called it a night. So Friday we get up, we Uber back to the airport after getting ourselves ready and getting some good coffee, and get to the airport, get our rental car, and we drive the 2 hours south to South Bend, Indiana. We're right on the line, so we're in Central Time, and then when you drive like 20 minutes from South Bend, it goes back to Eastern Time. So we lost an hour. We went to the campus, parked, walked around a ton, saw the stadium, saw Touchdown Jesus, saw the alumni, the dining hall, like just kind of walked around, took it all in, hit the fantastic bookstore, got this shirt, March on to Victory 2023. Check this bad boy out. Grabbed some shirts for myself, my brother, Jess and Michaela. And then we ended up headed out to back to the hotel. There's just a lot of stuff around there, and this really cool, very nice Italian restaurant was a parking lot across. Went over. I didn't really eat much because we ate like a late lunch. Trying to figure out what we ate that day. That was Friday, South Bend. Don't really remember what we ate. Anyways, but had some dinner that night. They had really good bourbon, like Blanton's, Russell's 13-year. Hung out. Bartenders were phenomenal. Ended up giving me the Blanton's cap. He put the a wine cork in the Blanton's because it wasn't empty. Had a good time. That was Friday night. Then went back to the hotel, chilled, and then woke up a little bit late Saturday. Not gonna lie, we were a little tired. We kind of pushed ourselves. Probably had a couple extra drinks, but ended up Ubering. Went and got some breakfast and stuff, but ended up Ubering to the stadium. Game was at 2:30. We got there at like 11:45. Walked around again, took a ton of pictures. The band was on the campus. They're playing. There's people all over. Kid-friendly, family-friendly. Got to see the basketball arena. Couldn't see the court, but got to walk through it, except the court. Just enjoyed it. Grabbed a couple drinks, then we head into the stadium. One of the most beautiful stadiums I've ever seen in my life. Not just because I'm a fan, but it truly is. It's very clean. It's just beautiful. And then we're in about an hour before game time, and my brother had found these phenomenal tickets. It was like second row on like the 20-yard line. It was on the visitor side, but still phenomenal. Got some food. They do not sell alcohol in the stadium, so we did not have any alcohol, but just enjoyed the festivities. And then everything you see on TV, whether you love, hate, or indifferent towards Notre Dame, it gives me chills, mainly because I'm a fan, but the band's out there and the crowd is fantastic. The student section's fantastic. And then about 10 minutes before the game, you hear that iconic Irish voice, "Here come the Irish of Notre Dame." And they're standing at the tunnel, and above it says, "Here come the Irish," and they just come running out. And it is goosebumps. It's amazing. People go insane. They come out to the field, and the visiting team, it was Central Michigan, they get booed, which is always great. And then they start playing, oh my gosh, the Boston Dropkick Murphys, going back to Boston maybe. Anyways, it's just phenomenal atmosphere, fantastic game. Weather was absolutely amazing. Notre Dame won 41-17. Afterwards, we walked around for a while. We found a bar right outside Notre Dame stadium area. Had a couple drinks, played some cornhole, walked, found this dive bar, which was phenomenal. And then we ended up Ubering to this place called Bin 123, or Bin 23. Similar to the Bin 110 we have here. It's like bourbon, wine, high-end food. Ended up grabbing fantastic dinner. It was right across from our hotel, like right across the main street. Like our hotel is here. Here's the Italian restaurant, and then across like the road was this area, which is right by the cafe where we got coffee earlier that morning. Had a fantastic dinner, had a couple nice drinks, and then headed back for more drinks at the Italian restaurant for a bit, and then we went and crashed, called it a night. We were pretty tired. And then we got up the next day, got ourselves moving, and we wanted to drive back because you gain an hour, which is good, but our flights both left around 1:32 Eastern time. So we wanted to get back by 11 because we had to drop off the car, go through all that, shuttle over, terminal, all that fun stuff. Good thing we did, because about an hour in, 45 minutes in, absolute bomb of a storm. So bad, had to pull the car over and wait for 10 or 15 minutes. It was intense. Couldn't see a car in front of you. Started to slow up a little bit, but it was slow going. So it took about 2.5 hours to get back. We still dropped off the car about 11:30. Got through, shuttled at about 12, and then Shannon is TSA pre-checked. I'm not, so it took me almost an hour to get through security. They moved me like 3 different gates. It was insane. But finally got through. We met up, had some lunch at the same bar we started at on Wednesday, had a drink, and then he went and got boarded because I think he had to like board about 1:15. I was like 1:45 till I had to board. But hung out, charged the phone, flew home. Luckily enough, they had NFL Red Zone free Wi-Fi, so I was able to watch a little bit of the Niners game and some other football games. And then landed, got on the last bus that was packed before I had to wait another 15 minutes back to my truck, and drove home. It was fantastic to see my family watch the fourth quarter of the Niners beat the Rams. And Jess had ordered pizza and a salad for dinner. God, she's the best. And then just chilled, did some laundry, unpacked, took a shower, just relaxed, and then had a good night of sleep. Work was work today. It was horrible, and our system was down, so I couldn't access any of my couldn't access my email or any of the programs I use until almost noon today, which would be bad enough for any day, Monday especially. But I've been out of work for 3 days last week, so it was a nightmare today trying to get through emails and answer questions, and people are pinging me. So it was I worked till about 6 o'clock. So anyways, it is what it is. I'm back into it. The grind is real, but what a phenomenal trip. Unbelievable. Not only was it amazing to spend so much quality time with my brother, which I haven't been able to do in such a long time, but everywhere we went, Chicago's phenomenal. It's big, it's spread out, but it is cool and expensive. But South Bend was phenomenal. Definitely want to take Jess and Michaela to at least a game. Whether we do Chicago or not, we'll figure it out. But you can fly into South Bend. Phenomenal experience, one of the best of my life. So number 1 was Michaela being born. Number 2 was South Bend. Number 3 was graduating college. Number 4 was every Tar Heels championship. Number 5 was every Niners Super Bowl. 94 is the only one I really remember because I was 13. My wedding day, and then Notre Dame, Chicago. So that's pretty much my top 10. Pretty awesome. But it was a good time. I'm very thankful for it. And my brother, Shannon, did the majority of the planning for this. We talked about it for a while. We each kind of got our own thing. Like, we each got our own flight. He got a hotel in Chicago. I got the hotel in South Bend. I was supposed to get the tickets because he got the rental car. I really didn't get moving on it. He found these tickets worth every penny. So thank you to him. So I'm back. I've been back for about 24 hours now. And I just can't stop thinking about that amazing trip, but also just the experience with my brother. And finally went to Notre Dame. So every time I watch a game, I couldn't say I've been there. So cheers. And it was a long one. We're at 12 minutes. Monday Night Football is about to start. Oktoberfest. Grab some today. It's that time of year. The weather was so nice out there. It was high 60s, low 70s. I had a little pullover from time to time. Never used my sweatshirt. And most of the time I just took the pullover off because never needed it. Didn't need it at the game. We were sitting in the sun. But it was just so cool. So that is the Windy City and the South Bend Adventure. 5 days of shenanigans. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Back to reality today. But, man, I'll never stop thinking about this. And I'm so thankful I made these memories with my brother and just the experience. And to say I did it. So what a great weekend. And very thankful to Jess for holding the fort down while I was gone. Her and Michaela had some great times together, and she took care of everything and work. So I'm very thankful that she did that to allow me to do this. And had me a pizza ready when I got home. I don't know about your wife. My wife's pretty effing cool, so I'm a big fan. All right, cheers, everybody. Oktoberfest Spice Beer 6.0. Drinks like a 4.0 because Notre Dame's 4-0. It does drink like a 6.0 because Notre Dame's 4-0 and the Niners are 2-0, and 4 plus 2 equals 6.0. All right, cheers. Oktoberfest. This one's going to be a easy drink. Cheers. Well, the game's about to kick off. I don't really care. It's the Panthers. They are here in Charlotte, though. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening to my story. It's a long one, but it was cool. I'm going to re-listen it to myself later because I want to remember everything I did because I'm starting to forget. Cheers again. Happy Monday. Back to reality. What a trip. Cheers. Until next time, deuces.